Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. Here's my contact information. If you happen to post on social media, I ask that you please use @BBL_Tangles so that I get notified, because I love to see what you've done. And you can always send things to me at my email address. I had somebody send some stuff this week, and it was just awesome. I love seeing what you've done. All right. This week I'm continuing with, excuse me, 102 Tangles of Zentangle. And Zentangle headquarters is still focusing on no mistakes. So I want to say something about the tile that I did last week. I didn't notice until the end when I was posting it to YouTube, and noticed that I should not have drawn those lines in the black squares. Okay, I got to talking and I just got happy drawing these lines. But, you know, it's fine. I'm not looking for perfection, which is why my channel is called Not Perfect Zen. But I just wanted to say that I did notice, and probably some of you were saying, no, don't do that. But it's okay. So let's put that one out of the way. Let's remember that there are no mistakes, and just enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy what you're drawing. Okay? This week, I am going, or this video, I'm going to be doing Scarabou, I'm not sure how do you say that, and Sampson, and thereby Zentangle headquarters. This is my hashtag, 102 Tangles of Zentangle. If you're new to this playlist, then that is the name of the poster that I saw that introduced me to Zentangle. And I am showing all of these patterns and trying to complete that by June 19th, because that's my 5-year anniversary of being a CZT. Excuse me. So we're going to be using a 3.5-inch tile. And I'm going to have my Micron 01 and my Micron PN available. The PN means plastic nib, and it holds up a little better than the fine tip if you're harsh on your tools, which I am. And we'll be using a Zentangle graphite pencil, a blending tool, also known as a tortillon. I have this clip in there to keep the point out. I have this washi tape to let me know that these are new pins, and I keep a kneaded eraser nearby. All right, let's zoom in. Okay, I am not going to do exactly the 4 corner dots, but I am going to put a line on here, kind of a frame, but we're also going to use it as a reference. So about, it's bigger than the width of this pencil. And I am going to put the pattern Scarabou on it. Scarabou, however you say it, is an unpublished tangle. And what that means is the step outs are not published in any books or newsletters or blog by Zentangle. And the only way to see the step outs is for a CZT to teach you or to show the step outs. So, okay, sorry. Wanted to get a scrap piece of paper just to kind of show you the steps for Scarabou. And I have done these little steps to show you. And I'm going to do it in this direction. But basically, you're just going to do like an S. And then you do it again. Do it again. And that's what we're going to put on the border. But what I wanted to show you was I had done this several times, and then I happened to notice that I was doing it wrong. So what I was doing was, after those initial S's, so here's the second step, I was doing this. Okay, so this is step 2, except I shouldn't go past that line. Anyway, and then what I was doing next was, I thought this line was coming around underneath like that. Okay, but that's not how it's done. That's how I did it on this. I did it in a circle, and you can see that I just extended that line. So it's an oops. You could call it a mistake, or you can just feature it. And so that's what I did. I just went ahead and left it like that. But what we should do, and I'll show you on this just real quick, a little bit bigger. Okay, so this comes like that. Probably if I do it this way, I can make sure I don't cross that line. Okay, so that's how it goes. And then from this side, come around and do that second one. Okay, so we're coming off of that and coming around like so. Okay, so that's what these step outs show for you. And then you put an aura around it. Okay, so that's how I did that. And that's how we're going to do it on this one. So we're just going to pick a side, and your corners are not necessarily going to line up perfectly, and that's okay. So what I decided to do was use this border kind of as a guide, and then I come back to that center, and that's where I've been stopping. So just do your little S's. I wasn't sure about this pattern when I first saw it on the poster and looked at the step outs, but I really like it. I really enjoy it. Okay, let's go ahead and go back and do this next step. I'm sorry. I think what I'm trying to do is make sure that I don't cross that little line like that. That's not how it's supposed to be. I should be stopping right there. So, not to be perfect, but I do want to follow the design. So I'm going to come back. You could do the S's all the way around if you wanted. I have enjoyed just doing one side at a time. Okay. And then like that. And then we're going to come off of this curve, go under, and do our other little, it's like a little fescue. Okay. Like so. All right. So now the corner. I think I'm going to go ahead and put just a part of one here. And when I did it on mine, I just kind of guessed, what should I do? So let's add an S here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start putting my S's. Keep it in mind, there's no mistakes. And so what I do on the corners is, depending on how my little S is lined up, I just make a little design down there. Okay, so for here, I'm just going to do that little fescue. And then let's just come along here and do the next steps again. I think mostly I see this done as a ribbon, but I have seen it done a couple of times as a border. Okay, now we're going to come off of this line, curve here, and come around. And we could, let's just put one here, okay? What I did was just put another little fescue-like thing right there. Seriously, just think, what if, like for these corners, what if we just do this or just do that? Just enjoy it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start another S here. And you see that's different from this one. One of the reasons I love the Mosaic app is I see so many different ways that people have done patterns. Okay, so that one didn't match up exactly, so I'm going to do it kind of like I did on that one. Just going to go ahead and put a C curve there. I'm going to come back around, do our little fescue things. I tried this several times to put it in a border. And it works out fine. Okay, so here's this. Oh, see, I did it. So just put a line that comes around. No mistakes. This is my art, and I don't expect it to be perfect. My videos are not perfect, and that's okay. I just like to share these patterns with you, especially these that you've probably never seen. Okay. And what shall we do here? We'll just come around and do that. Okay, just play with it. Okay, so here we go with our S's again. I think you would enjoy this as a ribbon. Let's just leave that. Okay, over here, let's put another little fescue. Put one here. And then we'll go back to following the step outs. I think I've mentioned this before, but one of the reasons I love watching Maria do her art and why I love looking at her art is when I zoom in, I see that she does not try to do anything perfect. And especially in the step outs. If you look in the newsletters or blogs at the step outs, nobody's trying to do anything perfectly. Zentangle is here to help you relax and create beautiful art. Okay. Okay, what shall we do on this one? I think I'm going to come around like this. And then we'll put our little fescue. I have another one come around in here. We just make it work. Okay. I did not do that one. All right. Did I miss any more? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to switch to my 01 and I'm going to aura this. Excuse me. So just pick any place and then just take your time. And I like to have my pen pointing toward the line that I'm trying to aura. Makes it a lot easier for me. And I try to keep them about the same distance. If it's not, it's okay. Okay, so just keep coming around. And you could use any size pen that you have. You don't have to use exactly what I'm using. If you don't have a Zentangle tile or Zentangle supplies, then begin with what you have. Regular paper, regular pen, pencil. That's how I started. I didn't have the right tools, but I eventually got a small kit from Michael's that had tiles and pen, pencil, tortillon, and that's how I started. And then I bought tiles off of Amazon that were not Zentangle tiles, but I'm preferring to just, especially with my videos, to use the Zentangle official tiles. Okay. So now I'm going to aura the inside. And again on this, just take your time. Enjoy what you're doing. I think the only time I hurry on my tiles is when I've gotten really frustrated. And then I just hurry through it to get it done. Oh, just marked myself. Okay. And yes, sometimes I do get pretty frustrated because I do still have that perfectionist in me that wants things to look perfect, but it doesn't. And that's okay. As I've said many times, I'll put my tile aside and come back later, and it always seems better. Okay, just keep coming around, turning your tile to keep your hand comfortable. I'm sorry. All right, so there we go. That is a not perfect rendition of Scarabou. Okay. Like I said, on this one, this is how I did it. And I kind of like how it turned out. I haven't shaded it, but I like how it looked. And now we're going to put Sampson in the center. And I think I'm going to go from the very center. I'm going to switch back to my PN. And again, PN means plastic nib, and you can see the difference in the tips there. And I have ruined many of those for not being gentle, where with a PN, you don't have to worry about it quite so much. Okay, so Sampson is a nice botanical type pattern from Headquarters. And we start with a stem, and then we're just going to put little veins here on each side, and they're going to go out a little bit further as you go down. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put all 4 because that just kind of helps me gauge how far to make the leaves come out. Okay, but we're going to put 3 sets of these veins on each side. Okay, one more. Your little vein down there, the center, can be straight, doesn't have to be wavy. That just is what I like to do. Okay, so once you have your little veins ready, we are going to okay. We're going to start in one place, and we're going to make these wiggly little lines that come all the way around. Okay, until we get down to the bottom. Now, you can make these as shaky as you'd like. I've seen some get pretty shaky like that. Okay. Or you can do them nice and soft curves. So around like so. You can have them kind of come to a tip, come around. And that wasn't so smooth, but just play with it, practice, and have these easy little curves if that's what you want. Okay, or more shaky like that. Okay, I kind of have in between on mine. So just pick one of these, and we're just going to come in, go about halfway in between the veins that you had. and then come back to the center stem, and then repeat that on the other side. Okay, so there's one. Repeat on all 4 little stems. Just take your time. I made that one skinny because I had that one come out a little bit far. Again, this is your art. Yours doesn't have to look just like mine. You know, you can look around at how other people have done their Sampson. I do that a lot when I'm getting ready to do a video, as I love to see how others have interpreted that pattern. And I'll just have that one go behind and then come back down this way. I'm going to go ahead and thicken this line a little bit. Okay, one more. Have this one go behind a little bit. And come around this way. Down to the center. And I think on each of these, I'm just going to make the veins a little bit darker. I did that on my practice tiles, and I liked how it looked. Kind of brings your attention to the center. I've really seen some beautiful Sampson patterns. Okay. And on, here's the one I did for practice. And I had a little bit more room in here, so I put the little fescues in there. And I actually did this one right. I did these. And the sides turned out okay, a little bit better on that one. But this was a bigger tile, but I actually did it inside the size of a 3.5-inch tile. All right, let's add some shading. So on Sampson, I'm going to do the center part first. I'm going to put graphite along the lines of the veins. And I'm going to go ahead and put the graphite on all of these. Then I'll come back and soften it. Okay, now with our blending tool, also known as a tortillon, I'm just going to soften those. Okay, now this one goes behind that one, so with what's left on my tortillon, I'm just going to add a little bit of shading there. And then soften the rest of these. Okay. Now when I was blending, I came down too far, so I'm going to fix that by doing that on all of these. If you can't fix it, feature it. Now I could erase it, but it's not a mistake. It's just shading. You can use, one of the reasons I keep the kneaded eraser is that if I accidentally put way too dark on my graphite, I could pick it up a little bit with that. So it is also a shading tool. This is the kneaded eraser. Okay, so I don't think I had, yeah, this one went behind, so I'm going to put a little bit of shading right there. All right, there you go, that's Sampson. And on these, I'm going to put just a little bit of shading in the tips of these and then where that goes behind. So just a little bit here and where that one goes behind. I mean, you can put a little bit up here too. Just play with it and see how you want it. Okay, just keep coming around. Then we're going to soften it all at once. Well, not at once, a little bit at a time. Okay. And I may have missed some, but we'll come back. So I'm just going to pull that up in that direction and then pull that back a little bit. So we're just softening it. I hope you enjoy this pattern. Like I said, I wasn't sure about it in the beginning, and then I got to where I really like it. I'll have to try it again. I think it would go really well in a botanical themed tile. as you're doing your tile, like I said, look at it and ask yourself, what if I did one thing or another? Like while I'm doing this, I'm thinking, well, what if I put graphite all around the outside or all around the inside? But I think I won't. Okay, did we get that all the way around? And I will show you one that I did that I didn't like how it turned out. I was practicing putting Sampson on the outside, and I put Rain, which is one of the 102 tangles, but I didn't like how these combined. I do a lot of practice and playing before I actually do a video, and I really liked how that one turned out. So, like I said, this one, I had a little bit more room here in the center, and then I put these little fescues, but it's okay. Just, like I said, play around with it, practice, see what you think. On the back of your tile, put the pattern names. This is 102 Tangles of Zentangle. And I'm going to add my chalk to the front. I encourage you to sign it and date it. And if you want to, put a little journal entry about what's going on that day. I appreciate Kelly Bluen's thought on doing those kind of things. All right, there's a couple of examples of how to do Sampson and Scarabou. And here's another one, and how to do Scarabou. All right, thanks so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you would hit the like button, subscribe, leave comments, and share, because that really helps my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I will see you next time. Have a great week. Bye.